sister invited me to her school's event where David Sedaris is coming to do a Q&A and a book signing. And the only book that I've read of his is Me Talk Pretty One Day. I read it in sophomore year of high school and I don't remember anything. So I'm gonna reread it before tomorrow. I remember it being funny, but who knows? I could have changed since sophomore year of high school. Not my first book signing event. Cornell invited Claire Saffitz to promote her new baking cookbook. Got her signed for that. Second one ever. We'll see.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
I'm thinking about drawing right now at the middle of night because now is the only time where I feel like I have some motivation, which is honestly just such a horrible time. But I feel like I can work at night because I know that everyone is asleep. This is just one of those. Speaking of correct words, life update for the internship that I applied to. I didn't get it. That made me very depressed for like a good whole day. After I got rejected, I kind of scrambled to find something new to do. You know, it's kind of just too late. It's already pretty much into the fall semester. There are no more opportunities at this point. I kind of felt really desperate to find something, like literally anything to do. And then I thought back to tutoring because it was something my friend had introduced me to. I immediately signed up. It's a very flexible program. I feel like I'm so anxious to do anything. I feel like my knowledge won't be sufficient enough. I was talking about it on my spam, my Finsta. My inhibition comes a lot from my anxiety of being underachieving. It applies to every part of my life. Even if I do end up doing it, I'm anxious. And even if I don't do it, I'm anxious. I'm kind of at odds with myself. I don't know if I'm inspired, if you would call it inspired, but I feel like I do get a little bit of some sort of motivation seeing that people are actually watching my videos. I feel like I'm not necessarily tossing out something into the void, a peopleless void, you know? It is a void, but it's not lonely. Makes me feel like I'm doing something substantial. Yeah, so I applied for the mock session. It'll be tomorrow morning at 9:30. I don't know why I put it so early in the morning. I just want to get over with it. Figured out how to curl my hair after many years of being afraid. I remember telling a friend, "Oh, how are you so good at curling your hair? I feel like I'm so scared of burning myself. I don't know how you do it." And I remember distinctly them saying, "You just kind of do it and you'll get used to it." And I was like, what kind of lie? Thinking about her. I haven't spoken to people from elementary school much, and we all kind of split off into our own ways. And for a long time, I didn't care about that. I went off my own way. At some point, I just started looking at the bigger picture, and I feel like I kind of missed some people that I haven't spoken to in a bit, but I just feel like something should be left in the past. I digress. I've been really anxious these days because of the feeling of being underachieving and not doing anything, and on top of that, feels difficult to say that out loud to somebody not my mother. Feeling like I have to do something. I am trying. I feel like I've been deriving a lot of my newfound motivation from making videos and people interacting with them, people commenting very nice things, like stuff like positive comments about my drawing. Don't get me wrong, like I do take my art seriously and my work has a lot of value to me. But I think I'm just so aware, whether it is true or false, of people's perception of my work, completely detached from my worth. And because I'm so aware of other people's perception, my assumed idea of other people's perception of my work is this isn't anything much. I don't really practice necessarily what I preach. I would have told somebody else in my position to not care about what other people think, because honestly it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I feel like I have like two people in my head, and one only cares about myself and the other cares only about what other people think, And it's like an angel and a devil sitting on my shoulders when you think about like how I process things. Yeah, so don't get me wrong. I do care about my work. I do take it very seriously. I did not draw for 16 years to just say that it was all for nothing. Me going to art school is not for nothing. I think that there is merit in the path that I've chosen. Being an artist will never change for me. Yeah, so I'm waiting to hear back for that. Well, after the interview, we'll see. And I'll probably be working the minimum wage. But it's better than nothing. You know what? I'll seriously take anything at this point. All I've been doing was play Mario Kart. I'm so obsessed with Mario Kart. Yeah, I've played so much Mario Kart that there's like no more to do. Oh, more up to update. I read a lot of web novels. It is sort of crazy. The webtoon that I am reading right now though is called The Legend of the Northern Blade. Definitely not something I gravitate towards ever, but pleasantly surprised at how interesting it is. Definitely keeps me up at night because I want to read it and not sleep. Oh, been sleeping at 3 a.m. almost every night to read web novels and webtoons. Been very, very obsessed. Been going to the gym. Oh my god, speaking of the gym, I don't even know if this story is like okay to tell because my mom watches my videos. At the gym that I go to, there is this really hot guy. Like, do you ever just look at someone's muscle and go, I could take a bite. I could take a bite out of that. There was something that I showed my mom and literally all my friends. So he's dubbed Shokupang. Seriously beautiful, beautifully sculpted. I cannot further explain how sculpted this man is. Kind of fate. Yeah, just eye candy for when I go to the gym. The one thing that's really pressing for me right now is doing nothing. I thoroughly believe that doing nothing when not earned is painful. Doing nothing after doing everything is earned, and I do not feel like I earned it. Again, constantly at odds with myself. I feel like I worked my ass off at school for the past 2 years. I took a paper making class last year in my sophomore year. English. That paper making class was so strenuous. It was kind of crazy. It was winter. For the first half of the class, we were making paper inside the classroom in Jaden, and then it got too much for the space in the basement, so we moved out of Jaden and into the, what do you call it? That garage looking space. Yeah, we moved there by the MFA building where the MFA stay. That place has had no heat for half the class, for half the time that we used the space for. Key was not there like 1/3 of the time that I wanted to get in there, and it was cold. Walking back from Jaden to that building And I love the winter. I'm a winter baby. I love snow. But when you have to dunk your hands in water in a space where it's chilled, you're basically asking for a disaster. I have very bittersweet memories from that class. Felt like my full potential was not demonstrated because of the natural conditions of the space. Whatever, it's over and done now, but yeah, that being said, and then my second half of the year, I was so busy with the sun, as I said in the last video. I'm thinking for the coming years of dropping my 2 double minors to do more, actually. Crazy prospect, but if I'm thinking of tutoring on top of being an editor on The Sun, on top of the first original job, and then the second artist job that I've taken for the physics department, being part of the taekwondo club. There's another club that I was very interested in that I wanted to join that was just created this semester. Obviously could not go to the info session because I'm not there. And I wanted to focus on my thesis, and it is not time for me to think about my thesis. I'm very aware of that. It would be my first semester as a junior, so it's not time to be thinking about my thesis, but I'm very concerned about my thesis for some reason. I'm worried that my thesis won't be substantial. I was talking about it with a friend because I was thinking to myself, well, I don't want my thesis to be about something that I won't be doing in the future. I don't want to make more stuff. I don't want to make more tangible stuff, more things that will just take up space and mean nothing to me in the future and are not part of the original work that I usually do. I don't know what that'll be, but I don't know. I'm like micromanaging myself for something that hasn't even happened. And she had said to me, well, college should be a time when you do things that you can't do back at home. And I thought that was so true. Like, why would I not take this time to my advantage and do things that I wouldn't necessarily have done otherwise? Because I have the space. I probably have much more in terms of materials. I have the people around me. Yeah, so what's the issue? But still, I don't want to make something that I won't care about in the long run. I don't know what it is. I don't think I can ever satisfy myself. I'm always looking for the next best option. Very much the mindset of an opportunist, a very clumsy one, because before taking the first opportunity, I jumped to the next opportunity. I like to bite more than I can chew, which is why I took up in tandem with my double minors 5 clubs. I can't even count. It's much more than like this hand, I feel like I have a lot of aspirations. I want to do good things. I'm digressing a lot, which is not new. I think back to middle school a lot when it was around 7th grade. That was like the peak of I don't know how to describe it. It was the peak of when I was so motivated to improve my art. I literally slept with my sketchbook by my head, and when I would wake up, I would immediately draw. That's how serious I was, and I still am serious. Not to that extent. It was like an endless hunger sort of thing. I wonder what I did in my past life to be working so hard at the age of 16. Very thankful of myself for working so hard, getting to where I am now so that I can do something for the future, I was preparing for something that I could never predict. I was investing in myself. If I hadn't spent that much time on myself at that time, there would be no me. Very thankful for 16 and 17-year-old Isabel. I'm 20 now, soon 21. Decided to go back to school for the weekend to see my friends and drink some tea together, Very excited about it. College definitely brought out the fun in me, because in high school I feel like I was very stoic in high school. While in middle school I was stoic, but I still had a little bit of a life to me. And now I'm just serious to a moderate amount, unserious to a moderate amount, and I know when to have fun and not take things too seriously. I really want to go to Nasty's right now and get like chicken tenders, or go to Noise and get their sandwich. Just anything from West Campus tastes good. I do know that Nasty's have a greater option, but I don't need more choices. I want what's there. Highly doubt I'll get my last dorm room again because I reapplied for housing. Cornell switched up their housing process last year. Not even last year, the end of my freshman year, they changed it up for the first time in years. And so now we are running out of housing, so much so that Cornell is now providing like services to get to know off-campus housing options better for the people who can afford to live off campus. Sometimes it's a better option for other people to live off campus because it's cheaper than getting the meal plan plus housing. Ooh, but that being said, I would never do South. Never over my dead body. So just by relation, I would not live off campus. I've been doom scrolling way too much on my phone. Not just on Insta, but like web novels and webtoons. Because my sister got me into web novels. Not so much in the same time. I was so desperate to read the next chapter of a webtoon. So I was like, where's the novel? So through that, I talked with her and found out where to read them. So that has ruined my life. Been watching The Joseon Psychiatrist. It's also really good. Been really enjoying that. I just want something to do. I don't want to be doing nothing. My skin has been also really bad. Like, you can't hide this. But I feel like making videos make me feel like I am doing something. So I'm hanging on by not by very much. English? I'll finish it at some point, but this is where I am. Oh, doesn't look very good on camera. The summation of my artwork. Whatever. I'll continue it another day. So, that's enough yapping for tonight. I have nothing more to add.